I've been on a nylon kick lately. I did a review of the Artem nylon straps a little bit ago, and then as I was browsing the internet, I found these straps from Anchor Straps that I thought were pretty interesting. They are single pass deployant nylon straps, and then I also got this FKM rubber single pass deployant that I wanted to try out. I was intrigued by these because I think single pass nylon is the best sort of nylon that you could get for your watch because it reduces the thickness. And today, our model for all of these is going to be my beloved SPB381, which is probably my favorite watch in my collection still. So let's get into it. This is the Mark III. As you can tell here, they updated the stitching here on the Mark III compared to the Mark II. The Mark II just has a single line, whereas this has like a shield design that kind of flows away from where you mount it on the deployant. And it's pretty nice. Sizing these straps is pretty easy. You just loop it through and then find the mounting hole that you want for your wrist. I have a small wrist, so I put mine on the second to last. And then this is how it looks when you close it. Pretty nice. And it's a single pass, so it doesn't really take up too much real estate on your wrist when you have it on compared to traditional nylon. And then when you put it on, it's pretty nice. Check that out. I've never heard of Anchor straps until I found them online recently. I think it was through an Instagram ad. Probably got targeted because I've been talking about nylon straps constantly, which is funny. But yeah, this is it. This is the Black and Tan Mark III on the SPB381. This is probably my favorite combination that I got right now. The quality of the nylon's not bad. It's a little crunchy, but you know, forms to the wrist pretty quickly. I mean, you know, very comfortable. I love this concept of deployant on a nylon strap. I think it's pretty genius, and I think that this is something that I feel would be a little bit more practical for me. This is the Black and Tan on the SPB381. Now let's go to the bond strap. Passing it through here. And then you just put it through the legs. Sometimes this rubber part gets a little caught, but the sizing of this one is a small, but that's all they had available because most of these Mark IIs are on sale right now. I went with the black deployant for this. I call this the Gucci print just because it looks like Gucci, but this is James Bond, black, red, and green on my SPB381. That looks pretty good. Alright, wrist shot. I think the sizing could be a little tighter. Hold on. See how the hole fits in there? Close it up. That looks great. And then putting it on. Oh, that's a perfect size. Cool. This is the Goldfinger James Bond NATO, or nylon, sorry, not NATO. On the Seiko SPB381. I think that looks pretty sharp. Look at that. Having a deployant on a nylon like this is something that I think is pretty cool. It's pretty genius and keeps the profile low, and then you get all the benefits of nylon. The comfort, the flexibility of it, and the look too. Nylon just looks cool. It looks different. It's not like leather straps or FKM rubber, you know, it has its own vibe. And I think they look great and work great with tool watches, especially divers. This is the Mark II James Bond nylon from Anchor with the deployant. Let's switch it to the gray. To switch out the strap with the same deployant, you're gonna need a tool to remove the pin here. So you just do that, boom. And then just line up the hole right there. Push this in. And my apologies if you can't see it though. Oh. Alright, so this one might be a challenge. Let's see if we can get this. Sometimes I flip it up to try to fit it into the hole, get it to fit. You'll hear it click. That feels nice and secure. One thing to note with Anchor, I think that you have to use different deployants depending on what type of strap that you buy. For these Mark IIs, I think there was a different deployant clasp that you needed to buy that fit the Mark II straps. I don't know how much longer they're going to sell the Mark II straps. They might be just trying to wipe out the inventory and stick with the Mark III, but if you happen to catch this video in time and are able to get the deal for the Mark IIs, I think you should probably buy the clasp that they suggest for the Mark II. This is how it looks with the gray, with the black PVD coated deployant that I think is more engineered for this Mark II nylon. And now fitting it on, you just slide down. I have the fat spring bars on this watch, so sliding through these nylons, you gotta kind of force it a little bit. Boom. And then putting it through this way. So, as you can see, it's just one piece of fabric that's going through the bottom, which helps with thickness when you have it on your wrist. Overall, it's just a much slimmer, a little bit more refined. I wouldn't say refined, but it's a different wearing experience. You know, I think a lot of us would prefer it to be this way rather than having the double nylon, you know, with traditional nylon straps. But yeah, that's it. And then loop it around, sizing it. You just slide it through here. I'm gonna guess on which. I think it's probably this guy. Maybe 2 for that one. And then close it down. Boom. There you go. This is how the gray looks. Sizing's a little loose. Let me adjust this. I think this one I'm back on the second to last, maybe. Maybe I'm on the last one for this. So resizing is just as easy as that. Pretty simple. And then putting this in. Boom. That's the gray with the Mark II. Deployant with the black PVD coated clasp, which looks pretty slick. Alright, finally for the last one is the, what did they call this? They called this the Anchor Flex Pro. So what this is a FKM rubber nylon style strap that you can fit on this deployant. So for this, I'm using the Mark III deployant. Same thing, slide this through the top. Boom. And then bring it through the bottom, just like that. That's how it looks. Single pass. So your spring bars are exposed. I've never had any issues doing single pass nylon type of straps with the lugs being exposed. Never had any issues. You should be completely fine. So from there, sizing it down. Same thing, pass it through, and then I'm still kind of estimating where my wrist would land. Put the hole in, close it down. I kind of adjust where I want the clasp to land on the bottom of my wrist. Usually you want the clasp to be centered across the width of your wrist so that you can maximize the comfort. This is the Anchorflex Pro. Oh, look at that. Got sizing perfect on the first try. So for me, this is pretty slick. I mean, FKM rubber. I'm not actually sure if it's FKM. I should check. Let's check. Okay, yep. Confirmed. The Anchorflex Pro. This is FKM rubber. That looks pretty slick. I like this concept a lot. Just because it's kind of the best of both worlds. If I'm on a job and I know that I'm going to be outside all day and I know that, you know, it's going to get sweaty, potential rain, whatever it is, or if I'm on vacation and I just want something comfortable that's reliable, that is pretty much waterproof and will dry quickly and is super comfortable. The material is pretty thin, but it's like pretty robust. I feel like that it's going to survive through a lot, you know, and it doesn't smell. So this is what that looks like. Anchorflex Pro on the Seiko SPB381. It's pretty sick, actually, the way it looks. So yeah, if you have any questions about what these straps are like, if anything, just drop me a line in the comments. We can talk, we can chat. I've had these for about a week and I'm pretty happy with them. And I think that they're a cool concept, you know. I don't know any other brand, third-party brand that's doing nylon and rubber straps like this with the deployant, so it's cool to see. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And take care. I'll see you on the next video.